Hey guys, this is what I wanted to show you real quick. This is a Threads bot. This Threads bot does something that will help you save incredible amount of time. So if you're struggling to get leads and just don't have any time to be babysitting all those leads, engaging with them, well, I got a solution for you. And it's part of my Feudal Kingdom Academy. This solution allows you to get relevant people to um, basically so the way it works is you have a threads bot that goes out there and searches through your threads to see which product uh, any kind of people that you interacted with are interested in. So what you see here is, for example, what you see over here is the username, the power of her 93. Her interest is email marketing strategies. The product that she would be mostly interested is Threads Booster. Now, here's another interest general inquiry. Um, so this is a general inquiry of another person who not directly linked to any kind of product. So imagine you have a bunch of products that you're selling and you have a bunch of people kind of just messaging you on threads and you're trying to figure it out how they are relevant to your product. What are your chances of converting them into actual paying customers? And once you figure that out, that's when you use Freedom Fusion System to do all sorts of email nurturing campaigns um, for those kind of customers, basically upselling them in all sorts of services that you happen to have. So over here, you see another person, KG Digital X, interested in email templates for hotel pitches. And that would be Threads Booster, the highly relevant product that you would most likely be interested in. So how do I do that? How do I know like who's interested in what and how's it possible? Well, guys, look, there's certain things that you want to understand here is that I'm using AI. I'm using AI for all sorts of crazy use cases like this. So the first thing I did is I created a bunch of products in Gamma, and I showed you in previous workshops how I did it. It's just basic presentation talking about each of your product. So you gotta have like a central knowledge base that you could tap into and you could feed it into this agent. So what I'm showing you guys is just a bunch of agents kind of doing the work for me, identifying people who are on threads and coming back to me. So this is very interesting kind of thing because what I could do next, I could visualize all this, make it into a beautiful flowchart or whatever, and just or send it out or have another bot go ahead and start reaching out to those people directly on threads, start engaging with their content and all sorts of other shenanigans. So this is very good. It will save you an incredible amount of time. And look at the response here. It says overall compiled users interact. So I had actually, like, as part of my prompt, I told ThreadsBot, if you happen to see any threads from Ron Wells, let me know about it. So in this case, it couldn't identify it. So there's some gotchas that still needs to be kind of worked out. But even though there could be some kind of false positives, there's still a very good value here because out of a sudden, there's just this threads bots are just learning automatically based on the prompt that you put in, sort of like with ChatGPT, except with ChatGPT doesn't really do this, what those AI agents do, where they travel across threads, find out who's interested in the products, categorize them, classify them, and heck, engage other agents to go ahead and start reaching out. So that's what I'm showing you over here. To kind of demonstrate to you what is happening. This is a kind of like a prompt. So I'll show you what is, I'm gonna scroll to the beginning and kind of just show you what's happening. So you don't really need to kind of think too much about it. You just launch this thing and it will just kind of do things for you. So the first thing, I set the objective. So the objective is visit my threads site, search for Feudal Kingdom Academy relevant threads. Make sure you identify only threads that are created by Freedom Fusion System. Username, identify any user on thread who hit like on any of Freedom Fusion System threads. After your search, identify the usernames of people who liked my thread. If you open up any other windows, you can close it by clicking cancel. This will help you navigate faster. Then navigate to this. So the first step starts with navigating to threads.net at Freedom Fusion System. And then the next step is identifying threads with lots of replies. Identify threads with lots of replies where that are relevant to Freedom Fusion System to those products. And what I mean by Freedom Fusion System, it happens to be my username on threads. So at this stage, check to see if number of replies to thread is more than 3, either from Freedom Fusion System user or any other user. If you see someone made a comment on a thread relevant to Freedom Fusion System user, main thread, and document their name. Analyze to see if they're interested in any of the products. Provide the full list of names to users. Show a list of users and product they are most likely interested in, and organize them by the latest comments on threads. Provide thread URL for corresponding comment, and show URL link for the threads of Ron Wells. So it partially was able to complete those things. It just didn't provide the URL yet. I'd have to train the bot for how to do that. And I'll show you as part of my threads bots product that you could either get separately or you could get it part of Feudal Kingdom Academy, how to train your own bot. And you could apply that across any website. You could apply that across multiple websites. You could apply that across any tech stack. You could apply this across any kind of use cases where you need to, for example, let's say you want to tell the agent to find your airplane tickets, and so this way you don't have to spend colossal amount of time finding them, and it just will go out, it will find those airplane tickets. So the cool part about it, it's kind of a community-driven interface using open source GitHub libraries that I'm including here. But you as the feudal lord, you don't really need to know much about it other than just you kind of knowing that this thing exists. So this way you could assign this work to your virtual assistants, virtual side hustlers. Now, if you wanted to learn how to do that, it's not hard. You'll get access to a basic blueprint as part of Threads bots access to the guide for how to create your own bot and how to get leads and whatnot. And this bot over here is it's very good because it goes precisely through each step, navigates through each step, and you could actually train it. This is not like a traditional way of training things with web browsers where you have to explicitly click somewhere on an element, find the element, and do all that. This is more advanced way. So you've seen my previous workshop that shows me how I show you using like select elements methods for how to find some specific element and use that in automation. You could most certainly use that as an extra trick in your bag of tricks in case if you're not getting very good results here, especially if you're doing this in combination with like Power Automate, for example, or browser flow, or like after looking at this, you may say, well, you know what? I actually want to download Power Automate. I want to use this open source library and I want to have a bunch of bots flying around getting leads for me. So this way I don't have to. This way you don't have to spend that colossal amount of time. Maybe that's the realization you're going to come to. Whether or not you're interested in this threads bots guide that includes this detail, or if you want to join Feudal Kingdom Academy for how to grow your feudal kingdom one feudal land at a time and get connected with brands, the choice is yours. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that Threads Boss is part of Thread Stack Power Bundle, and you could get access to that for only $14.99. If you guys are interested, DM Path on my Insta, and I'd love to send you more information about it. And if you happen to be a business owner and you wanted to have something like this set up for your business needs, then you happen to have some sort of processes that are very difficult to automate, then definitely let me know. Go to freedomfusionsystem.com, include your information, and we'll do our best to help you out. And tell us what you're interested. If you're interested in Freedom Fusion automations, if you're interested in Freedom Fusion system, or if you're interested in any other kind of like Feudal Kingdom Academy or any other kind of services. So without further ado, let me go ahead and quickly show you how this works. So this is very easy. I'm showing this on a dark screen. It looks a bit kind of weird on a black screen where you kind of, it's not user friendly at all. It's just, it's not the final product, but you could use that as a final product for yourself, knowing that it's just a simple command. You'll get a quick guide for how to set this up. And don't worry, you don't need to be a coder or anything like that. You just literally follow the steps, and it will work for you. And of course, you could modify the prompt depending on your use case. And of course, your use case is to get leads, so you could just literally copy this prompt over here and include, instead of those products, you could include other products. So if you want a little explanation behind what's behind the scenes of what's happening, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just show you the presentation. Perhaps I should have done that from the beginning and then kind of get into all the details for how to, like, what to do next. But here's what you do. So the first thing is you run nice5.py, which is a Python file. Now keep something in mind. I'll show you how to orchestrate that with Zapier. And notice out of a sudden, there's a, like this thing popped up, and it just kind of popped up, and on the back end, you could kind of see something else is going on, right? A robot controlling things, and you could kind of move this thing around. Right now, it's kind of showing you the screen in real time, but I could show you how to make it kind of not shown at all on your screen. It could be like somewhere else behind the scenes, sitting there, doing work for you. So this way you could continue interfacing. That you could give it some tasks and then just continue doing work for you. You could run it on any kind of other computer where you logged in, or you could run it on a virtual computer. I prefer to run it on my own computer because there's certain tasks that that you could do that just really tedious tasks, and you just want to have your computer do them automatically. For example, like repurposing content from threads into Buy Me Coffee. There is no API for that, but guess what? Now you could solve the problem with no API with use cases like this. Notice how it automatically identifies the region for each individual spot. And I showed you already in the previous workshop for how to do this in Cursor, for how to identify, how to basically train things using some of those automations, kind of like um, browser use, and kind of training the actual thing. So the idea here is, over here, you kind of seen this thing finished, and what you've seen it do, you've seen it basically say this. Look, memory. So agent collected threads data and user engagement, including likes and comments. Memory extracted relevant threads. Users power. So those are the users. Threads relevant to the users. Next goal, compile, right? So at the end of the day, it pretty much just compile all of this, and it's, look, user Ron Wells liked the post. So another thing is, And here's the, as you can see, this is the URL, and you could click on it, and it's somewhat cut off. As you can see, it still requires a little bit of fine tuning, but this is the gamma site that I was telling you guys about. It's not opening. I'll have to see, but let me see. Maybe I'll click on this one. No, definitely not opening. So there's something being introduced, some extra thing. It is some extra characters being introduced that I have to look into a little bit further. But overall, guys, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. It gives you the URLs. It gives you information for what is relevant and what is not for each individual product. And you could iterate this across many different kind of threads. So in this case, it's going over this thread over here. And over here, it looks like it got the URL, but once again, it's not available. So I'm going to I'll come back to this a little bit later to see why that is. But when I did this at first, it didn't even show me the URLs. So the thing is, you could specify which sections of threads you wanted to click on just by looking at those boxes that you've seen earlier. So for example, you could see users who liked threads booster posts, and you could see this person liked it, and there's a profile picture, and this is the profile picture, right? This is a digital mom who happened to like the thread. Now, it happens to be a picture, not necessarily the URL yet, but making it URL is just a matter of extra steps, kind of clicking on one button and then another button. And of course, that's exactly what you guys going to learn. And what I did over here, I kind of executed this. I got the list of leads over here. And those leads essentially could be packaged into what's so-called like a JSON file, where inside of that JSON file, they'll be correlated to a bunch of other things like likes, comments, and reposts and shares. And as you can see over here, there's a one comment, one like, and let's just put it this way. It was very difficult for me in the previous workshop to build something like this. I was actually trying to reverse engineer the whole library, and it was very difficult. I hit a lot of road bumps. I was using Cursor AI, and I literally kind of burned through all the credits. Now it's literally telling me you need to become a pro member, which is definitely worth it with Cursor AI. Definitely worth becoming a pro member. But from your perspective, in terms of making money, ultimately, you guys just need to be approximately good enough. You don't necessarily need to be like have every single detail wrinkled out of over here. That is not the case. What you want is to be approximately good enough. How do you become approximately good enough? Well, you could take all this context here and just throw that in ChatGPT and have you create an organized mind map of who is who is what. And in fact, right now I'm going to show you this, like how to do this manually. So I took all of that output and I could extenuate that output to make it stronger. I could extenuate it not only to make it stronger, I could use different models, AI models like DeepSeek, Cloud AI, etc. But right now I'm using ChatGPT, OpenAI model, but I could easily kind of switch it around to another one. But over here, if I take kind of into the journey of ChatGPT and I could say, summarize this, actually, you know what, let's use Claude. Let me use Claude over here and I'll just say, summarize this into a mind map based on products and users who are interested in my products, in my products, my threads products. show me their personality types and probability of them wanting the product based on this data. And now, guys, look, I didn't even need to think much. All of this just kind of go in details. I'm just gonna quickly charge my computer, but the idea here, guys, as you can see, I pasted it in. And by the way, over here, you see this dark screen kind of pulling in. From previous workshop, guys, you probably remember me creating an automation that takes big files, converts them into small files, and blasts them across social platforms. So without spending money on any insane automation tools out there. That's what this automation tool does. That's why you see this dark screen kind of popping up. I'll show you guys for how to hide this dark screen so it doesn't show up. So this way you could have all those different things happening without you spending all that money on expensive tools, and at the same time have like really be able to get a lot of value. So the first, I'm gonna quickly go here, and I'll just take I'll basically take a smaller footprint of what's happening like this, and I'm just gonna paste that in. Smaller footprint. Let's see if that works. The message exceed the limit. Okay, you know what? In this case, I'm just gonna go to ChatGPT, but I could easily show you how to automate this. Build a mind map based on interest of the threads users in relationship to the product, to my threads product. So this is kind of interesting, guys. And ChatGPT could actually build you something. But let me rephrase that and show you what I mean. So over here, it kind of built this, but it didn't really, it's not exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to say build mind map for mermaid, mermaid IO. Okay, so I reached the limit over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, build mind map based on interest of threads products for each user. So as you can see, it went ahead and it summarized everything neatly, right? It pretty much showed all the users' potential. It showed the threads booster is most likely of interest to this person. Thread summarize of interest to me, because I was the one saying fire on my own post, and possibly other users such as this one. Now, what can you create? Mind map for mermaid.js, showing this representation, and it just does it. It will create that, and right away you have a beautiful mind map. All of this could be included in. So if I go to mermaid and log in, okay, get started, and then mermaid mind maps, boom, run it. There we go. So it showed representation of who's who interested in each individual product, as you can see. Action liked, commented, etc. Can I put that in a UI? Absolutely, guys. Not only can I put that in a UI, I could show you how to do something crazy like this with a gamma to make it, to recreate. I'll show you how to recreate something like gamma a bit later. So this way you could have presentations like this. So this way you have beautiful charts, beautiful everything, and everything, all those leads would be showing up there, giving you an easier level of understanding for who is who and why you should contact them, etc. So now this particular product I'm going to publish in my Feudal Kingdom Academy, threads bots. But over here, what I could do next is I could say, based on the previous knowledge, I could include based on the previous knowledge, step 5, based on the previous knowledge, create recommendations. Recommendation for who to reach out, for which user to reach out. So user who would be the most interested in, and identify the message, identify how many likes they made, what comment they made, if any, and provide reasoning why I should reach out, and provide reasoning why I should reach out to them. Okay. Based on the context of the thread that they're responding to. Okay. So now I'm just going to hit save. And now, guys, this is what it is. Now I just launch this and boom. Now we're going to launch that. So, okay. So we're going to launch CMD, CD, C, threads, bots, C, CD, threads, bots, CD, nice 5.py. So it looks like it's complicated, guys, but it's not. It's really just a command, and I'll show you how to make it all low code with Zapier and a bunch of other tools like Power Automate. And right now, what you see is all of those things are happening. Keep some in mind, the elements are continue staying the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left. Those elements are being trained on by this system. And all it does is just kind of analyze things. And the cool part about it, after analyzing things, not only can it interface with people as well based on who it makes sense to reach out, and we'll try to build something like this next, kind of like outbound outbound outreach. But it can also fire up your other workflows in Freedom Fusion system, including email nurturing, notification campaigns that would be sent out to this individual person of interest, inviting them to join community, etc. But looks like over here recommend reaching out to Ron Wells for their engagement with Thread Samurai and expertise in AI, UGC, and automation. So it picked me as the most likely person to reach out to because I have 2 Threads accounts. One Threads account on Freedom Fusion system, and the other one is Ron Wells. And it literally analyzed all of those people and recognized that I would be the best person to reach out to. How crazy is that, guys? I mean, that is insane, right? So, and over here, what you see is, once again, context. We see all of this context, comments and likes. So you see all the users over here. What we could do next is organize all of those users by like activities, who commented, uh, and which product they relate to, etc. This is the reason why you guys, when you start creating threads, you need to be adding hashtags. Like whenever you create a thread, you create a hashtag. In my particular case, when I create a hashtag for product, it gets dropped into Notion, it gets dropped into community, Pill of Freedom gets created, all of this stuff starts happening. But over here, users interested in products. Freedom Fusion, it identified me as interested in threads booster, not available in structure. It identified Ron Wells as being the person who engaged. And right now, guys, I only showed just through a bunch of screens, initial screens, this process of engagement. I could have told it, go ahead and look at my other screens to see who followed me and engage with those types of people as well, identify their links and hit some likes. So just where there's some actionable information going on back and forth. But you could see this, it's relatively easy to train. And to show you what I mean, I could go ahead and I could say, go on threads and hit that number 5 box, the one that I was showing you earlier. So if you go here on threads, this was identified as number 5. So I could say, go on 5 and search, or I could say, go on 4, hit the number 4, index number 4, and see who followed me, right? So I could do this and watch. I could say, step one, step 2, identify the also. So also step 5, I'm gonna make it a step. I'm gonna make this step 5, and I'm gonna say identified who followed me, who followed me on threads. Show, click on index 4 from the main page and scroll and analyze the usernames of people who followed me until you and provide me their names and date for when and date and when they and how long ago they followed, if possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And once again, hit save and boom, we just go ahead and we put nice5.py. Once again, guys, this is what happens. It starts loading things. And remember, I mentioned the index 4. Let's see if it's going to recognize that index 4 and be able to kind of click on that. On index 4, I may need to be logged in. So that may be another kind of prompt to log in. I tried that before and it works. It even works in a way where you can log in, you specify the password. But right now, it's just kind of looking at things. It's seeing things. It will try to possibly hit index 4. We'll see how that works. It literally states so in a console. It literally shows what exactly is it kind of doing. So right now, it doesn't seem like it's showing anything. Let's see. Okay, so it is showing this. Step 5. As you can see, it's finding out all those details. It's showing the comments. How's that going? It's showing does anyone know whether RBA has email templates? Step 5, success users, products. Step 6. So it looks like it got smarter, guys. Now it's showing the URL that are actually URLs. So it's learning as well, guys. Now over here, it looks like I gotta log in, but for the login, you could specify a prompt to say, put my username and wait for me to hit enter. Um, and it will just do that. But I'm not going to do this now. I'll do that a bit later. I already did it before. For now, I'm just kind of showing to you guys. There's many different places where this engagement could take place. But the idea here for you is not to sit there and wonder and ponder who to reach out. Let AI figure it out who to reach out and reach out to them. So this way you're not doing this yourself. So next, go bypass the logging, click button. So that's kind of a, the login part is yeah, I'll talk about that next workshop to show you how it works, but it's just a matter of typing the password in and giving it a prompt for username and you manually typing it in. So now it says identify Romwell's user and comment, show URL link. We're about to take that contain. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, it said identified. So this time, notice it identified link. And guess what? Now it's opening up. Before, remember, it wasn't opening up, guys. It got smarter. Now it's opening up links. So the more prompts you give, the stronger it's going to get. And of course, this is a Threads Samurai Gamma presentation. Definitely take a look whenever you get a chance. But as you can see, Ron Wells engagement. So meaning kind of this is one of the links that was posted on a thread. And you could see that engagement recommendation, pose engaging questions related to digital marketing, utilize user-generated content for broader audience, target workshops addressing specific comment-based needs. So it kind of provided this recommendations. Challenge unable to access and analyze followers due to login restrictions. So we'll solve that next. I'll show you guys how to do that. But for now, as you can see, general engagement, interested in email marketing, all that stuff that I was showing you, basically kind of identified here. So it's very, very strategic, guys. Very strategic, especially if you're logged in. So memory still on threads page, login restriction encountered. Here's all those other things shown. Enhance user interaction, encourage more comments and discussion by posting engaging questions. That's all it's prescriptive recommendations. And what I could do is I could go as far as literally telling it what kind of discussions and interactions and engaging questions to ask based on my brand and just have it do it automatically. And that would be like very easy thing to do as well, guys. You're going to learn how to do this as part of Threads bots. So over here, you could see profile Ron Wells. Here's a Ron Wells post. Here's a Ron Wells link that was shared by Ron Wells. And I happen to be the one who reposted it. So from your standpoint, guys, if you try to read into it too much, don't try to read into it too much. Let AI figure it out, well, who to reach out, and then basically provide you like basic information for what is what. But this is a far more affordable product for you than you spending money on Google ads or Facebook ads and trying to figure out who the customer is. You could still use Facebook ads and Google ads, providing that you know who you're targeting. And it's a lot easier when you actually have the list of pre-curated people and their personality types and what they're interested in terms of marketing directly to those kind of individuals. Because when you have that list, it's going to be exponentially cheaper to do that on Instagram, to do that on any socials when you have the list. When you don't have the list, you pay exponentially more. So this is a kind of a pre-curation concept. And of course, I'll show you guys for how to intertwine all of this into Zapier and into all sorts of other automation tools. So this way you could easily interact with it and then create like a little UI for you. So this way you are not process prisoner. And that user interface for you is not going to be just like a static page like it is the case in Gamma. It's going to be interactive page where you get to see who's who and you get to interact with them. You could get engaged and so much more. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. That's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this workshop and I'll see you next time.